the holiday rush, and I'm just, what I thought was going to happen at this time of the year is that people would be like, oh, we're worried, we're focusing on our family and our holidays. And I thought business was going to be like really quiet and I would get like all my checklists done. But what I'm finding is there's like so many more networking events and so much more e-learning available. And people are calling me and they're calling my clients this particular week because I think that they're like, okay, we'll get through the holidays and then I got to be ready for January. For some reason, like the calendar, right? Time is a construct, but New Year, people are thinking, let's go, let's do things.
Right.
And it's really exciting from my point of view because I work with so many small business owners, heart-centered entrepreneurs they're finding that this is their time to replenish and then to put things in place because they've gotten their certifications, they're starting to feel like maybe they're getting some clients, but they're not really sure how to keep it going or what's the strategy to know that they're doing the right things. And so they're starting to say, yeah, I have to make a commitment. This is not a hobby. This is a business. What am I doing? And so I'm really excited when I'm able to like get on the phone real quickly or do a Zoom call with them and give them just one little tip. So one thing that I've been talking about with people, well, actually for weeks and even on this show is the importance of email marketing. But before I even do that, before I even say that, if you guys haven't read this already, I don't know if you've read this, Sue, The Referral of a Lifetime. Oh, isn't that interesting? It's backwards on here. The Referral of a Lifetime by Tim Templeton. And so many of us feel like, oh, we don't know enough people or, my family, my colleagues, my friends are not my clientele. But it's pretty amazing that if you actually make a list and don't stop until you get to 250, which is a challenge, but you can do it. Once you start going, it's like, oh yeah, and then I met that person. Come up with a list of 250 people and then give them categories. So the A list is people who would do anything for you, have worked with you and believe in what you do and would support you no matter what. And I'm going to say for this exercise, read the whole book, do the whole thing. But for this exercise, go through your list, find out who those people are and reach out to them in some way or another. If you can phone call, do that. That's not my comfort zone, but I'll do it with my A list because I know that they're not going to judge me. And then phone call, maybe it's a handwritten card. This is a really good time of the year to do not just a holiday card with the stamp, but write a note and write something, send a little gift. And then email marketing, stay in touch with people. And maybe it's not email marketing, but email keeping in touch or email being a resource or email just being relevant. And to that, I have a quick, if I can figure out the screen, I would like to share my screen quickly with you guys and show you. Okay, so now you see my screen with two things. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So this is one way to segment your list is when you're sending out an email, you can segment your list so that if they click on a link, I'm going to show that again real quick. There's no sound to it, and it's just 8 seconds long. So when you're sending out an email and somebody clicks on something, in this case, they're clicking on green shoes, you put them on a green shoe list. This is different than talking about your referral of a lifetime, but it is still making sure that if you are going to email somebody, if you're going to send something into their sacred inbox, that you're sending something that's super relevant to them. So whether it's somebody you know well and you want to, I'm having my screen issue again, keep in touch on a professional level, or it's somebody that has maybe bought from you before, thought about buying from you before, or interested in whatever it is that you're teaching or offering. Don't send blanket emails to everybody. Be super personal and reach out with personal. with the personal touch. I'm sorry, I got distracted there, you guys. Sorry about that. All right, so now I am going to thank you, Sue, for showing up today. And you know how excited I am about the topic you'll be talking about. But let me quickly tell people who you are and where your passions are. So I'll tell you guys, Susan Kapatoes is a holistic health coach, a Reiki master, a certified meditation instructor, soon to be craniosacral therapist, and a published author of the self-help inspirational memoir entitled A Spiritual Journey. She's the owner of Inspire Your Journey, LLC, a holistic wellness company that is 100% dedicated to supporting people on their wellness journey. And when I asked Sue what her superpower was, I loved this. Her superpower is soul transformation. She has a great story that goes along with this, and someday you'll be able to hear her tell her longer story. Today we have only a little bit of time to talk about what I wanted to hear about, which was beta waves. But someday, if you have an opportunity to listen to Sue talk about her journey, or read her or buy her book to learn about it, it's really pretty cool. So her soul transformation program is unique because Spirit guides her to create this customized program for you when you work with her, and it helps you to be the highest and best versions of yourself, which I think is amazing. Today's topic is using brainwave entrainment for your success. And at the end of today's call, Sue will tell us about a couple of offers that she has for us. And so, Sue, I want to thank you again for showing up today, and I'm looking forward to learning more from you.
Thank you, Susan.
What do you got?
I'm very happy to be here.
Cool. So tell us about the brainwave. Like, what is this thing, brainwave? Like, we just go through our days not even thinking about it, but it's there, right? Like, tell me more.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. So this whole concept of brainwave entrainment is really nothing new. It's been around for a long time. So part of what I want to do is let more people know about it. It all started in the early 1920s when scientists, they discovered that our brain emits these electrical signals that form distinctive patterns called brain waves. And each type of brain wave has a certain frequency. And along with that frequency, it also embodies certain characteristics. So through my research, I found that there's 4 primary brain waves that our brain emits. So we have the beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Now, the beta brain waves are more of the active brain waves, right? So right now we are primarily in the beta brainwave frequency because this is the frequency of everyday life, right? So it has its positives, but the beta frequency also has the stress and anxiety associated with it too. So the research and more of the relaxation and healing frequencies come from the alpha, theta, and delta.
Oh.
So probably wondering what exactly does that mean, right?
Yeah.
And how can it be used and applied in everyday life? So what researchers found was that the alpha frequency helps us focus and concentrate better, right? So it's good if you want to study for an exam, for example, if you want to get your task list done, and just focus and concentrate better. So it could potentially help improve conditions like attention deficit disorder, right, which is very prevalent in today's society. So the alpha frequency, a calm but alert focus. That's the best way to describe it in one sentence.
Can I ask you a quick question? So when you say the brain waves, and you say our brain emits, but you're also talking about waves that help us to, so is it that our brain is entering this particular state or that we're receiving particular waves? How does that work?
Okay, good question. So you're asking actually about the entrainment in piece, like how does that work? So when our brain is hearing an input, whether it could be sound, right, through music, or it could be light, it is going to follow that frequency that it's receiving. The easiest way I can describe it without, because there is a technical piece to it, right? So it can be involved with both ears. You know, you feed one ear one frequency, another ear another frequency, and the brain is taking the mathematical difference between those frequencies and entraining itself to it. That's more of the technical. But in a more understandable way is through music, right? And we all know this intuitively. If we're listening to a very relaxing piece of music, let's say by Mozart, right, a very nice instrumental, we feel generally most of the time calm and relaxed because that's the frequency that it is embodying. Versus, you know, if we're listening to some heavy metal rock, right, where it has a frenetic, it has a frenzied frequency to it.
Yeah.
We don't, and we entrain to that. Our brain entrains to it. That's why it's so important, this brainwave entrainment on multiple levels, and why it's important to the type of music that you listen to.
Awesome, thank you.
So, which does bring me to my, well, actually, first I want to go, so we did the alpha, okay, alpha, calm but alert focus, helping you to stay in the moment. Then we have the theta frequency, which is the frequency that we feel when we're on the verge of sleep or just waking from sleep. So it's a very deep state of relaxation. It's a deep state of meditation, or perhaps the way you feel during a Reiki treatment, for example, that very deep relaxation, but you're awake still. And the awake piece is important here, because when we're in this deep state of relaxation, but we're awake, our brain is forming a bridge between our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then it opens the gateway for that intuition to come through, which also inspires and sparks our inner creativity. So it's good for our creativity. It's good to access our intuition, get that knowledge, and then apply it. You know, we can apply that knowledge in everyday life, however it applies to us.
Wow.
It also helps, that frequency also helps to release fears and phobias too. It's really great for that, because we're connecting to a deeper layer within ourselves in that theta state. So it's healing on a deeper level.
So it would be like, so if you're in a meditation state, Shavasana after yoga, Reiki. Also, when you said releasing phobias, it reminded me of a hypnotist that came into the high school when my son was there, and he got called to be up, and they had to say, what were you most afraid of? And his was spiders. And so this hypnotist, I'm wondering if is that the same thing? Like he was awake, but not awake, and he was trying to get rid of, was that like a theta thing?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I have tried to be hypnotized before. I remember, like in when I was younger, we experimented with it. I was never able to be fully hypnotized, but I do remember that state and that feeling that I was in, and it was exactly that state in a very deep relaxed state of consciousness. So yes, hypnotism would be an example of that theta state.
Cool.
So then we have the delta. So this is the last primary brainwave. So the deltas are when we sleep. So they're present more on a subconscious level and unconscious level. But this is where restoration happens. It really helps to rejuvenate our immune system and helps us to sleep better too. So if someone is having problems sleeping, I would recommend that they experiment with the delta brainwaves. listen to those more, and we'll get into exactly right how to do that, the resources for that, because they're relaxing on that subconscious level.
Awesome. I know this is a huge topic, and you're breaking it down into just a short amount, but I'm loving that it just opens up so many possibilities.
Yes, it does. So now I'll get into how would one use this, right? How do you use it, and then how do you apply it? So there's a company called EquiSync. They're actually a subsidiary of the Evolution of Consciousness Institute, the EOCinstitute.org. EquiSync has you can either get a set of CDs, or you can download the electronic files, which is what I did, and they offer music that has the alpha, theta, and delta frequencies embedded within it. And what I like about EquiSync, because I did some research too on the different companies that are available and what they offer. So each track that EquiSync offers has all 3 frequencies embedded in it, but then there's a primary one that they're entraining you to. So you start off with alpha, right? So you do that for let's say, I think it's about a month or 6 weeks if you want to go through the whole entire program. And it's listening to 1 track a day of 20 minutes of music. So that's it, and it's really simple. But it's like you said before, being committed and being persistent and being consistent. That's the key if you really want to gain the most benefit from this technology, is the consistency. And I did this. I went through the whole program. It's 4.5 months. And it's been wonderful. I think the biggest difference that I noticed is my ability to focus and concentrate is definitely improved, and less mental chatter in my mind. So just a calmer mind overall.
Even if you're not listening to the music, just in your daily life, like things are just all, I think of it like, I have this vision in my head of like curly hair like this just becoming straight, like everything's like going smoothly.
Yes. And it has allowed me to kind of take a step back and see the more bigger picture of what I'm doing, and not get overwhelmed by that to-do list or maybe the social media responsibilities that I have as a business owner, or that I've chosen to implement as a business owner. So it's that piece too, kind of being able to get a more objective view and not get wrapped up in the potential I don't want to say chaos, but it just allows you to stay centered more.
Right, quiets that monkey mind. Yeah.
Yes.
So if people didn't, because I know when you had talked about it, I had been interested because someone else had told me, she does it. So she didn't do the program, but she introduced the idea of these different waves. And so now I have a playlist on my Spotify or on YouTube, depending on where I'm working and what I'm doing, where I just have it on in the background.
Yes.
Because I do get so distracted, and because my work is social media and is digital marketing, and I love those dopamine hits of like getting stuff done, and not really getting stuff done, getting the little things done. But to focus on the big things, I have been putting on the alpha wave music. So it's not really what you're doing, like the entrainment of the whole everything, but it's just for that period of time for me to focus and get work done. And it's better than Mozart, better than Bach, because it just kind of keeps going. It doesn't stop.
Yes. Okay. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Right. So besides like using headphones to get the benefits, yes, you can use it like you're doing. They say like as ambient background music. And it is nice. It is soothing. So all of the frequencies have that benefit, the soothing relaxation, helping to synchronize both hemispheres of the brain, right? it improves communication between both hemispheres of the brain by forming new neural pathways, and that's what helps to release phobias, fears, and create healthier habits too.
So it sounds like instead of just listening to the alpha ones that I do because I always want to get stuff done, I should probably then, when I'm not working, incorporate some of the other brain waves, like when if I'm just sitting or walking or something like that.
Yes, yeah. I definitely recommend to expose I mean, we are naturally exposed to them, right? Depending upon what kind of music that we're listening to. But yes, making that conscious decision to bring them into your life, I definitely recommend that. So on YouTube, there are I don't know what you listen to, but I have found there's two music companies that I like. So one is Yellow Brick Cinema. They have study music alpha waves and 8 hours of theta waves, and this is on YouTube, free.
Yeah.
So you can, because I've listened to different ones, and these are the ones that I resonate with. But of course, people, you have to like go and do your own experimenting and see what you like best. And then there's Meditation Relax Music, who puts out relaxing music for deep sleep, delta waves. Awesome. And that's my favorite for the delta for YouTube. And there's also Tom Kenyon, who I love. He puts out a lot of great music. He has what's called an acoustic brain research series.
Wow.
And he also has CDs, one for alpha, theta, and delta.
Wow.
So the resources are out there, and if you take advantage of them, your life will never be the same in a good way.
This is so exciting. It just is so interesting to me. Tell me, what else do you work? I know that you're working on the soul transformation project. What else is it that you do to help your clients? Well, when people come to you, what are their struggles? What is their pain? And how can you help them with that?
I do a couple of different things. Yeah, I've recently rebranded myself and how I'm putting myself out there into the soul transformation program. Because every person is unique, right? So it depends what's going on with the person. I have a passion for helping people find their own passion in life, right? And peeling back those layers, especially all of the emotional trauma that someone may have accumulated during their lifetime, right? We've all had challenging situations in our life. So I help people uncover that and release that, because if it's not released, it can serve as a blockage to your personal development, to your personal growth. And it's all about the heart for me, right? And love, and especially self-love and connecting to your heart. Because if we don't love ourselves and our own cup isn't filled, then we can only help other people so much. I mean, we can't always help people, but if we truly love ourselves and we're connected especially to our higher self and that higher power, that higher love, that's where the magic happens. So I help people reconnect to that and remember that.
Yeah. Well, so what's the best way for people to learn more about you and find you?
So the best way is to visit my website.
Okay.
I have a website, inspireyourjourney.com. Mm-hmm. And you can also reach me via phone. My cell phone is 508-282-7877. And I also have an email, so you can email me at susan@inspireyourjourney.com.
Awesome.
Those are the best ways to reach me.
Yeah, and they can learn more about you. And I think on your website, how did I receive a meditation that you ran? Was that through your website? Was that when I signed up for your email list, or was that a special you were holding?
Oh yes, the 2-minute guided meditation. Is that what the audio? The audio. Hmm. Yes, so there is a way that people can get that for free if
Yeah.
they sign up for my newsletter.
Okay.
So thank you for reminding me of
No,
that.
it's wonderful. I do listen to it.
Yeah, it's a quick 2-minute relaxation meditation, and it's actually based off the research that the Heart Math Institute has done about connecting to your heart, breathing. So as you're focusing on your breathing, you want to focus on breathing in and out through the heart center,
Mm-hmm.
and while you're focused on the heart, generating a feeling of appreciation or gratitude. So thinking of someone, someplace, or something that brings you joy, brings you love, appreciation, and then focusing on that feeling and just allowing it to basically flood your entire being.
It's a wonderful meditation, 2 minutes. And I highly recommend people get on your email list and they can do that through inspireyourjourney.com in order to
Yes.
do that. And I see too, this is one of my favorite parts is you do have a special offer for people who are listening to this group. You're offering a free 20-minute phone consultation to be able to talk with folks and kind of get an idea of what they would like to accomplish. But then you're also offering, it looks like 50% off of their first hour with you. Is that correct?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
that's
yes.
very nice of you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes.
I've learned so much today. And so my takeaway is that I learned all of that and I'm going to be more aware of it, but that instead of just using, because I have that personality where I'm always wanting to do stuff, so I get the alpha going all the time, that I'm going to pay attention and use more of the theta and maybe even like search out the delta for like when I really just need to go to
Yeah.
sleep, I guess, right?
Yeah, because it's a holistic package. That's how I view these brain waves. Because
Mm,
you have the alpha to remain alert, right, with that calm focus during the day. But
yeah.
then the theta is going to help you be more creative, right, and access your intuition more, which we all need as business owners too. And then the third, yeah, delta for that deep rejuvenation, that sleep. And we all know how we feel better after we get a good night's sleep.
Okay, good night's
So
sleep for sure.
they all help support one another. Mm-hmm.
Sue, thank you so much for spending this morning with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Susan. I really appreciate your time as well.
I don't know if I'll see you again before the holidays, but I wish you a wonderful time and I'll see you in the new year.
Thank
See
you.
you, Sue.
Bye.